What is up, guys? Chris here, Bear Market Mining. Thanks once again for stopping by. So today we're going to be talking about solo versus pool mining on Qubic. Last epoch 130, I was halfway through the week and was thinking maybe I should try some pool mining, getting some shares as opposed to solo mining. And then, of course, because I'm addicted to the luck aspect of it, I thought, no, I can't switch my whole farm over. Why don't I keep some of it pool mining and some of it solo mining? So today we're going to go through the results of my solo versus pool mining on Qubic, and we'll find out which is better. Let's get into it. So what is the difference? So we have PPLNS, which stands for pay per last N or number share, right? So basically you join a pool and you mine with other miners and your reward is based on your contribution. So the more hash power you get, the more you contribute, the more you're going to get paid out for that. Payouts are smaller when compared to solo mining, but obviously more frequent. So this is good for people who have smaller sort of farms, a bigger electricity rate, and want to sort of know exactly how much they're making or have a much more accurate idea of how much they're making. So like it says here, it's much more stable. Now, solo mining, what is that? So basically you're keeping the reward 100% yourself, but you're not getting paid for any shares. So when you hit that block, you get paid 100% of that block, depending on what pool you're on, right? So some pools might have a 10% fee. Some different pools might have, a 50% fee. Depends on what pool you're on, right? As it says here, high risk, high reward. So you might earn nothing, or you might hit a soul. And let me tell you, when we go through the numbers next, there's been plenty of periods where there's almost 10 hours to 20 hours where I haven't hit a soul, and then all of a sudden within the next 3 hours you hit 4 or 5. So it's really luck of the draw. And it says here it's better suited for high power hardware or more hardware, right? So I've got about 32 cards running on this, so my chances of hitting a solution are higher, but also my electricity cost is higher at the same time. So it's risk versus reward. Really depends on what your situation is. So to start off, let's have a look at what we're doing this week before we get into the results of that solo test. So we have those 4 rigs online, the 8x3060 Ti rig, the 2 3070 rigs, both 8 cards, and also this mixed rig down the bottom, 4070s, 3080s, and 3070s. As you can see with this lower hash rate, we have this epoch. There's not a huge amount of hash rate difference between a lot of these cards. So that's a little bit disappointing. Less hash rate means less likelihood to hit souls, less shares, but hopefully there's a higher reward from the pool. And also hopefully with a lower hash rate, more people jump off, which leaves us with a bit more of a chance of hitting blocks. So over here on the dashboard, this is this week's results. We're on epoch 131. You can see we've still got that those 4 trainers online, and as you can see right over here to the right, I've been chopping and changing between solo and pool mining with a number of different rigs. I wanted to speak to, like we were talking about in the explanation, you may not hit solutions for a long period of time. So, over here we started on solo mining, didn't hit anything for around 10 hours. I said, all right, let's go back to share mining. Back up here for another, 5+ hours or so, and then thought, nah, we're going back to solo. So then almost straight away, right, we hit a solution within the first hour of switching back over to solo mining from share mining when there was, nothing for the first 10 hours. So we hit 1, and then once again, here we are at the 6th hour. We hit nothing for another 10 hours. Then all of a sudden we hit 2 in a row. Nothing again. 16 all the way over, and just as of recording this video, I hit 1 in the last sort of 30 minutes or so. So that's what you're going to experience with solo mining. There's going to be long periods of time where you hit nothing, then there's going to be a period of time where you hit multiple in a row, as opposed to the share mining, which we can see in this last epoch here. It's pretty consistent. You have some different dips depending on how many blocks the pool hits, but this is going to be a much safer bet if you just want to make sure you're banking rewards, as opposed to taking that gamble with solo mining. Looking here at a few of the screenshots I took just before the last epoch ended, epoch 130, you can see we started about 2 days in to the epoch, so about 5 days left worth of results. It was about this time I decided I wasn't hitting many blocks at that stage. This is why I went back over to the pool mining, and I figured while I was at it, why not do a little test and see what's actually more profitable, because you know, I have a couple of guys in my Discord who are also mining Qubic. By the way, join the Discord, link in description. And they're all share mining. They do have some smaller rigs, so I thought I wanted to just compare the two. So here's where we started, and let's have a look at where we finished. So this is where we started. We had two, it says shares because we switched over to share mining, but these were actually solutions. I'm not sure why this pool does this. It just does. Even when you've got a combination of shares and solutions, it puts them all in the shares category. It's actually really annoying. But anyway, minor details. So it was these two 3070 rigs, identical rigs, both 8-card 3070 rigs. And at the point of the start of the test, we had two solutions each. But we were having that drought, so that's when we started to test it. And then we finished up the week. We can see we hit a further 5 solutions on this 3072 rig. So 5 solutions over around a 4.5 day period, as opposed to that would be 393 shares, which is just under 4 solutions. So in this instance, solo worked out much more profitable, and this epoch was paying, I think it was about $9 based on the amount of Qubic that was rewarded per solution. So, you know, the $9 there, the extra paid for nearly the whole 4 days worth of electricity on this rig. So in this test, solo mining was definitely a better option for me. And as I've said, I've switched back to solo mining on all of my rigs this week. I did start share mining, then I jumped back. I've got to learn to just set and forget it. So that's something we're going to get better at in the future. But I want to know what you guys think and what you're doing. Are you solo mining or share mining? I have found that with a comparison with a couple of the guys in my Discord that I've mentioned, that often it seems like the pool versus solo mining works out pretty consistently. In my experience with Qubic in particular, it seems that the solo mining has often worked out slightly more profitable. I have also noticed that my 3070 rig, as opposed to my 3060 Ti rig, which has a slightly less, a lower hash rate, I should say, seems to do dramatically better in the solo mining. So I'm not sure if there's an IT's threshold where, you know, 353 doesn't want to hit, but 378, 392 does want to hit. That could just be sort of some placebo going on there. Not too sure, but that's what we're looking at. An extra solution or so, about an extra $9 Aussie for that Qubic over 4 days. And I'm fairly confident that this would have been even higher. The pool wasn't hitting too many blocks, so maybe that had something to do with the lower shares. It did sort of spike up and then stable out a fair bit. So that is where we ended up, guys, over that sort of 4.5 day test, around an extra 20% worth of Qubic in revenue at the end of the week, solo mining versus pool mining. So from now on, I'm going to stick to my guns like I have been, especially with Qubic, and stay on solo mining now. In other coins like, you know, Casper solo mining and things like that, I've done Warthog back in the day. We've pretty much solo mined everything. It often seems that the solo mining doesn't work out as good compared to the pool mining over the long haul, but the solo mining for Qubic, in my opinion, and in this instance, is definitely a better option. Like we said, with a slightly higher hash rate. Now, in what situation would solo versus pool mining be better for you? If you've got a small rig, if you've got, you know, 300 ITs or something on it, it might be the best just to take those profits, those guaranteed profits from the shares, because Qubic is more profitable than anything else, even a Leo in the tests that I've run, and even with share mining. So that will wrap it up, guys. Let me know what you're doing down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.